What a great day in chicken heaven. The sun's shining, the flowers are blooming, and life's just good. I wonder what's down here. Is that hell? Sure, but I'm going down there. Oh my fucking... Welcome to Bloody Hell, the game sent from heaven to please all you dirty sinners. Bloody Hell isn't your typical Metroidvania or bullet hell type game. It consists of a lot of movement, a lot of it's very creative, and the main storyline is basically you're this chicken, and God wants you to fucking bash the fuck out of Satan. Why? I guess because he's bad? I don't know. I didn't read the lore. I didn't care to read the lore, but the game itself is absolutely phenomenal. In Hell, you shoot magical tears? Bullets? Well, according to one of the 3 developers of Bloody Hell, Gus, he says it's whatever you want it to be, so for video's sake we'll refer to this as light. A really big reason I want to make a video on this game is because a lot of the mechanics it has are very unique to the game itself. They are very well put together, like for example, when you kill monsters they drop bones which can be used later to upgrade your light and other stuff as well. I'm just going to really quickly explain the 3 systems: the rage system, the heal system, and the alchemy system. The first system I want to talk about is the ultimate system, as it's very... I believe an ultimate move should be something to save you, or your most useful move, or your strongest move. But in this game, it didn't really feel like that. It was a bit clunky and annoying to use, and I feel like I couldn't get a lot of enemies off with it. As well as you can use it in boss fights, and you use the same bar with your healing for it, so you can get that valuable healing. Quick run on how the ultimate system works. You do damage, bar goes up, you take damage, bar goes up, and when it's fully charged, you get to use your ultimate. But why would you ever press the ultimate button? Would you ever press the ultimate button?
No.
But you know about the healing system, don't you?
Wait, what's the healing system?
I'm so glad you asked, my friend. The healing system shares the same meter with the ultimate system. You can heal yourself taking away roughly a quarter of the meter. Ow, I just took damage. Let me just hold E and heal. There wasn't really much to say about the healing system, I'm sorry. Excuse me. And now, finally, the alchemy system. The alchemy system was very interesting and very intriguing. You basically fill up these boxes with the vials, and to get these vials, you get them from laying around the map or from the shopkeeper, and you fill the boxes to then make the ability become active. Now that we've talked about all 3 main systems, let's talk about the movement. The first movement mechanic you acquire is the dash, which allows you to dodge bullets, followed by the laser, the double dash, and then finally the grapple. After you acquire the dash, you take some of these moving little platforms, and you make it to your first boss, Porkchop, who alternates between 4 attacks: slash, jump, axe, and machine gun. Then you continue to shoot Porkchop for a while until Porkchop's name becomes a lot more meaningful. Eventually you acquire the laser, allowing you to destroy rocks and enemy shields. The developers didn't want players to advance without having acquired all the mechanics. They made a system with advanced storyline, you must acquire the needed mechanics, but I like how they still did have the element of you can freely explore before you continue on. Time to talk about absolutely my favorite mechanic in Bloody Hell, the lily pads. They were really interesting and flawlessly done. It's also surprising how creative the development team was for Bloody Hell. Stuff like this you don't really see, and the way they envision stuff was just amazing to see. Well, after you're done having fun on your lily pads, you can go fight your next boss by zooming around minecarts over and over and over, and to fight your next boss, Infernal Velcro. Extraordinary! To beat Maggie, you have to go around her multiple times shooting her back crystal, while occasionally hopping off every so often to dodge her laser attacks, but when her back crystal finally breaks, you just start shooting her eye until Maggie dies. Now let's talk about the most interesting, unique, and funnest boss in Bloody Hell. The boss technically doesn't have a name. In the game files it's called Tipbird because it's a tipbird, but besides that we're just going to call it the speedrun boss for simplicity's sake. This is where the game takes a slight darker turn, and one of God's companions says he wants to swap sides because of the evidence he's seen with his own eyes. I intentionally didn't include the parts where you collect the double dash or the grapple hook, because in the boss fight you utilize all 4 movement mechanics to quickly complete the boss fight. Lily pads are also a big factor of the boss fight, and enemies will be present. During the speedrun boss battle, Tit will alternate between attacks consisting of bullet spam and lasers. You have to hide behind cover to block the ongoing spam, or quickly run across dodging a door. The boss fight gets progressively harder because the closer you get, the faster projectiles become. Good old lily pads. Lily pads return once again in this amazing boss fight. A new mechanic I found that you can do is you can just jump off the edge and reset like that, which lets you continue on and you take no damage. It was actually a really cool mechanic I found that. I don't know if it was intentional or not, but it actually did come in very useful. The grapple hook allows you to grapple to poles, giving you a bigger dash. In the short interview I had with developer Gus, originally the grapple was meant to be used anywhere, but implications with coding arose. I really did wish they would have added this mechanic or figured a way to implement it, but it's understandable as this originally was a student project. that's enough about the grapple. You're nearly done with the speedrunning boss. Now all you gotta do is kill enemies, dodge their attacks, dodge the projectiles, until you survive long enough to fight the Gatling Gunner himself. That's it. Are you now ready to fight the easiest boss battle in all of history, Tit without his Gatling gun, who literally dies in like, what, 15 seconds? Literally easy as shit, but at least he was the funnest boss to verse. Now you get the classic cliche, you have to look for the truth yourself, and we get the most metaphorical and symbolic scene in the game. Portals. What is their job? To take you to room. They don't really have any meaning or metaphor, it's just they take you where you need to go. Throughout the entirety of the game, portals are nothing special. They're like every other game. They take you room to room and that's all they're good for. Now if you look at this portal animation, when you're going down into the abyss, you find something particularly different about this compared to all the portals. It's a 3-stage portal animation and it consists of you slowly falling down into the abyss. It's almost metaphorical for the meaning of falling down into darkness. It really doesn't have any other meaning than that, and there was no need for the developers to put that unless for the player to wonder, what's to come after this? I don't want to spoil too much of the abyss, so I'm going to make you guys go play it for yourself if you want to figure it out. But here is the big final boss, Satan. The abyss seems to be very metaphorical, and it's kind of strange that Satan has the widest and brightest glow. The final boss, the final enemy, Satan, the exiled god. Now, fighting Satan, it's a bit interesting because you'd think the hardest boss would be hard, but to be honest, he wasn't really that hard. It only took me about 2 to 3 tries to beat him. He had a nice variety of attacks, and a lot of the things he had were also metaphorical. For example, he shoots out these love heart shaped attacks, which is kind of weird for the devil shooting love towards people. I feel like it was another one of those games where Satan was actually pictured in a good light, and he really wasn't the bad guy in the end, and it was just a misinterpretation. Talking about similarities with games, Gus said himself a lot of the inspiration came from movement games like Titanfall 2, Apex, and Warframe, and a lot of the aesthetics aspects came from games like Hollow Knight and Enter the Gungeon. I asked Gus if there was any future plans for adding DLCs or co-op. He said he doesn't really see the point, and if you were going to get an update to Bloody Hell, it would be Bloody Hell 2. After shooting Satan enough, you finally kill him, and he explodes and dies, and now you are the savior of heaven. Now you can finally return to Chicken Heaven and stay there forever in glory. Finally done. Can't wait to see all my friends. Oh, plot twist. That wasn't the final boss. Now you're up against none other than God himself. Yep, the most classic cliche, but honestly, one I didn't really see coming for some reason. Anyways, after you beat Satan, you have to fight God. This was the first boss in the game where I actually had difficulty and I didn't beat it in 1 or 2 tries. It took me maybe half an hour to 40 minutes. It was genuinely an interesting boss fight and it had my heart racing at every moment I was low. Honestly, it was an amazing experience to fight this boss and kind of gave me Undertale/Sans vibes. To mention gamers, it will fill you with rage and you will want to smash your monitor every time you get him to 1 HP and fucking lose. Anyways, enough of me being bad. God had an interesting moveset with a lot of interesting abilities, but after you played for a while, you started to get the hang of it. It really was an easy to understand but hard to master fight. Now, let's talk about the community and the development team as well. The community has been absolutely amazing, creating mods, a wiki page, and also speedrunning the game. Now, the development team was also completely and utterly amazing, being free to interviews, answering questions, being welcoming, and all of this with a 3-man team from the Netherlands. Big thank you and big shout out to Gus for helping me so much with the video, providing me with the assets and the PNGs for the characters and stuff, along with helping with questioning that I had. Thank you so much. His Discord for Bloody Hell and his Twitter will be in the description below. If you have any other further questions, feel free to join his Discord and ask away because they are amazing and so open with the community. And after you defeat God and he's dead, you claim the throne and ascend to become the new God, the Almighty, the one, the true Chicken God. After listening to my 800-word script and my 400 attempted voice clips, you have now, my friend, officially beat Bloody Hell.